They're ridiculous after that.
Have makeup on. Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
And she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur. I can list more fails on both of my hands.
She has done the world premiere episode of actually being on someone else's podcast.
Meghan Markle just got roasted by Bill Maher, and word is, she's losing it behind closed doors. Her latest podcast appearance was supposed to be a home run, relatable, raw, real. Instead, it was a cringe fest that had the internet howling and Maher swinging for the fences. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one bad interview. It's about a duchess fighting to keep her crown as her empire cracks. Her fans waver.
This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
That is so beautiful.
No.
What do you think of them?
They're ridiculous.
She never stops whining.
Your eyes are sparkling right now. You know, Meghan, how are you today? Which, by the way, I just have to say, yes.
Enjoy them.
I forgot to have fun. You're right. You're right.
Let's start with Bill Maher, who didn't just critique Meghan's podcast appearance. He set it on fire and danced on the ashes. In 2024, Meghan sat down with Jamie Kern Lima, pitching herself as the ultimate every mom, barefoot, no makeup, just a gal juggling school runs and feelings. Sounds sweet, right? Except Maher wasn't buying it. He called it privileged performance art, ripping into her perfectly lit tears and that oh-so-curated relatable vibe.
You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us and poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention.
The internet lost it. Ex-users piled on, with one posting, "Meghan's crying game is weaker than my Wi-Fi signal." Another said, "No mascara streaks, no puffy eyes, just a $14 million mansion and a sob story." Maher's point was brutal but clear. Meghan's trying to sell struggle, but it feels like a script. He didn't stop there, mocking her for whining about 6:30 a.m. wake-ups while most parents do the same without a royal title or a private chef. The clip went viral, racking up millions of views and sparking a firestorm of memes. One ex-post summed it up. Bill Maher just said what we've all been thinking, she's exhausting. But was Maher's roast the real blow? Or just the spark that lit a bigger fire?
Prove something. You have to prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it.
Let's rewind to that podcast itself, because oh boy, it was a train wreck. Meghan's goal was clear, rebrand as the down-to-earth Duchess. She talked about packing lunches, dropping kids at school, and the pressure of it all while sitting in a Montecito studio with soft lighting and a suspiciously flawless blowout. Critics called BS faster than you can say lip gloss. Ex-users were savage, with one quipping, "She's acting like packing a PBJ is climbing Everest." Another pointed out, "Barefoot vibes? More like 3 PR consultants and a lighting crew." The tears were the real kicker, or lack thereof.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Don't make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Meghan tried to channel raw emotion, but the internet clocked it as staged. No smudged eyeliner, no sniffles, just a lot of blinking and a breathy voice. One user posted a side-by-side with her old Suits scenes, joking, "Her acting hasn't improved since season 3. The podcast was meant to be a comeback, a chance to show Meghan 2.0, but it landed like a lead balloon, with even some fans admitting it felt forced. If the podcast was a miss, what about her global stage? Cue Nigeria, the trip that was supposed to be Meghan's royal redemption. In May 2024, she and Harry hit Abuja for an Invictus Games event, greeted with military parades and garlands fit for heads of state. Meghan leaned hard into her 43% Nigerian heritage, revealed via a DNA test, calling Nigeria my country and rocking traditional fabrics.
Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HRH. Now, royal fans will know in 2020, during the negotiations for Harry and Meghan to leave royal duties, it was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals.
Some fans loved the cultural nod, but others smelled a PR stunt. Nigerian outlets questioned why a non-working royal got such a lavish welcome, and whispers suggest the visit, arranged through Archwell, skipped key diplomatic channels. One source claimed officials felt blindsided, like Meghan used Nigeria as a backdrop for her brand. Fast forward to 2025, and when her team pitched a second trip, Nigeria's government shut it down. A diplomatic insider said, "No visits without ministry approval, period." Ex-users pounced, with one posting, "Nigeria just told Meghan her Princess Act isn't welcome." The rejection wasn't just a snub, it was a sign her global charm might be losing its shine. But losing Nigeria is not the only door closing on Meghan. Hollywood's rolling up the red carpet, and it's getting awkward. A few years ago, Meghan and Harry were Tinseltown royalty, with Netflix and Spotify deals that had everyone buzzing. Now, it's a ghost town. Netflix axed her cooking show, a glossy attempt at lifestyle guru status that insiders called a tiara on a tofu recipe. Spotify dropped their podcast after one season, with reports citing low listener numbers. Even Dior, once rumored for a brand partnership, vanished like a bad script. A former exec put it bluntly, Meghan's a gamble, and studios don't like losing bets. Every headline she grabs comes with a wave of backlash, and comment sections are brutal. One ex-user wrote, "She's got more haters than a reality TV villain." Even A-listers are keeping their distance. Oprah's gone quiet, Serena Williams stays vague, and Reese Witherspoon's not name-dropping anymore. When Hollywood, the land of optics, starts dodging you, that's a neon sign your star's dimming. And if Hollywood's out, what's happening at home? Here's where it gets spicy. Even Harry's reportedly over the Montecito circus. Insiders claim the prince who fled the royal machine is now trapped in Meghan's branded bubble. Body language experts, yep, they're back, have clocked the signs. Harry's crossed arms, forced laughs, and those get me out of here glances at events. One expert said, "He looks like a guy who signed up for freedom but got a PR schedule instead." Rumors are flying that Harry's craving normalcy, not another Instagram-ready moment. A source close to his UK friends told the Daily Mail they're quietly reaching out, hoping to pull him back from Meghan's orbit. One ex-post nailed it. Harry's face screams, "I miss pub nights, not photo shoots." Insiders say he's been pleading with Meghan to ease up on the branding, to live instead of perform. Imagine the guy who gave up a throne for love, now wondering if he's just swapped one cage for another with better Wi-Fi. When your husband's side-eyeing the script, that's a crisis no PR team can spin. But it's not just Harry, her brand's crumbling too. Let's talk American Riviera Orchard, Meghan's shot at lifestyle mogul glory. Launched in 2024, it promised artisanal jams, chic tableware, and Montecito magic. The Instagram rollout was pure Meghan, curated baskets, soft filters, handwritten notes. But the public wasn't buying. Critics called it Goop 2.0, but without Gwyneth's knack for selling the absurd. Ex-users roasted the $50 jam jars, with one posting, "She's charging what for jelly? I'm out." Another quipped, "Relatable? My bank account says no." Insiders say Meghan was blindsided by the flop, expecting a hit but getting a public skewering. Retailers haven't jumped on board, and the brand stuck in limbo, with no major deals in sight. One source claimed her team scrambling for a pivot, maybe a cookbook or a Netflix special. But the damage is done. When your lifestyle brand feels more like a meme than a movement, you've got a problem. With her brand tanking, is a memoir her last shot? That brings us to the hottest rumor on X. Meghan's planning a tell-all memoir. Sources say she's been pitching publishers for a 2026 release, aiming to either spill royal secrets or reframe her story as the ultimate survivor. Think Spare, but with Meghan's flair for drama. Some fans are hyped, hoping for juicy details, but others are over it. One ex-user posted, "Another book about her struggles? We've heard this 20 times. Speculation's wild. Will she target the royals, lean into her victim narrative, or try something new?" But here's the catch. Without fresh material, it could crash harder than her podcast. A tabloid source said, "She's betting big, but if it's just Spare 2.0, she's toast." The internet's already skeptical, with one user joking, "What's next? A memoir candle scented like tears?" If this book flops, it could be the final nail in her credibility coffin. But can anything save her when even fans are turning away? Meghan's fanbase is splitting, and it's getting messy. Once, she had an army of defenders shouting down critics with cries of racism or media bias. Now, even some loyalists are tapping out. On X, former fans are venting, "I wanted to root for her, but everything's staged," one wrote. Another said, "Same story every time, victim, survivor, repeat. I'm bored." Comment sections are a war zone, with likes and dislikes in a dead heat. Some still rally, arguing she's unfairly targeted, but the doubters are growing louder. One user posted, "Diana didn't need a lighting crew to be real. Meghan does." When your own supporters start comparing you to a legend and you fall short, that's a sign the magic's fading. Even her biggest moments, like that Nigeria trip, feel like they're shot for a Netflix trailer, not real life. So, where does this leave Meghan's story? Here's the raw deal. Meghan Markle's fairy tale is fraying at the seams. Bill Maher's roast wasn't just a jab, it was a mirror, showing a duchess more brand than human. Her podcast flopped, Nigeria shut the door, Hollywood's ghosting, and even Harry's looking restless. American Riviera's a bust, the memoir's a gamble, and her fanbase is cracking like cheap glass. She's still got the title, the platform, the spotlight, but trust? That's slipping fast. Every pivot, podcasts, lifestyle brands, goodwill tours, feels like a performance, and the audience is clocking it. Ex-users are ruthless, with one posting, "She's selling struggle from a mansion, time to log off." So, what's next? A memoir that could make or break her? A wild pivot to politics, as some ex-posts whisper? Or a quiet fade into Montecito's lavender haze? One thing's clear, you can't keep pitching a fairy tale when the sparkle's gone flat. The world's watching, but for how long? Drop your take in the comments. Has Meghan lost her grip? Or is a comeback still in the cards? Smash that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered dives, and stay sharp, because the glitter always fades.